I'm Scarah with HorrorWeb. We're here at Whitestone Brewery with artist Dale Carroll, who is an amazing horror artist. We're gonna cut open his forehead, lift back that skull, dig on deep into his brain, and find out exactly the process that he goes through to create amazing artwork such as this.
Belligerent bipedals, it seems you have once again intercepted a transmission from yours truly to the supreme evil of the universe, the Big Stank. We're not worthy! We're not worthy of stank! As many of you now know, I must routinely report to the Big Stank my earthly activities. The Big Stank will be pleased to know that we've been quite busy lately, haven't we, Scarah, my damsel of the doom?
We sure have, oh. So many people, so many places, so much death.
Okay, just relax, Scarah. These humans will meet their doomsday demise soon enough.
I just don't get why we can't kill them all right now. You hear that, people? Their end is coming.
But anywho, as I was saying, we've been quite busy spreading doomsday delight, but it hasn't all been business. In fact, my HorrorWeb team was asked to lead a dark baptism at one of my favorite places on your putrid planet, the Glass Coffin.
Indeed, oh. It made my dark little heart grow to see another innocent mortal baptized in the light of the Dark Lord.
Scarah, I would very much like to meet this Satan one day. He seems like my kind of fiendish fellow.
By the way, did you ever get a ride home from that? Austin, Texas not keeping things that weird after all, are they?
Indeed, I thought the Earth City of New Orleans was actually more my vibe, Scarah.
Yes, HauntCon was awesome. And you got to meet up with some old friends, didn't you?
Yes, Scarah, it was so great to see Bleep and Blap again after so many millennia. I remember the old days, Scarah, when we used to get fucked up on Zordini and breast milk and pro hillbillies just for fun.
Just for fun, eh?
Speaking of fun, my HorrorWeb team seemed to have a devilishly delightful time at the Dungeon Bar in the French Quarter.
We sure did, oh. You know how much I love dungeons. And I got to take home a pet panther.
Whatever happened to that panther, Scarah?
I let him loose at the mall and watched all the basic bitches die while eating a Cinnabon and a pickle.
You just kill me, Scarah!
You wish.
So as you all know by now, it is my miserable mission on your putrid planet to preach the end of days to you bastardly bipedal. However, since the Great Galactic Council shutdown, I am in need of personnel to clean my latrines. We all know how Earth food does my black hole no justice.
Ugh, you nasty.
Also, my Orlakian Galactic sex harem was really thinned out by that Bulgaronian from Nebula X who laid waste to all my girls with his gargantuan, member.
Tell me more about that guy.
Focus, Scarah. Anyway, my pimp-ass starship needs personnel for the less than savory jobs.
Less than savory being a gross understatement.
So I have left it up to my HorrorWeb team to find new recruits.
The problem is, most of you turd-wrangling flesh suits aren't even closely capable of having even the shittiest position on Orlok's galactic spaceship.
Is there not anyone on this pitiful planet worth 2 cards in a truck of bathhouse toilets, Scarah?
Well, lucky for you, I did manage to find one vile person who was just evil enough for doomsday salvation.
I'm giddy with anticipation. Let's see who Scarah has dug up from the bowels of hell this time.
Thanks, Orlock, for that lovely introduction. I'm Scarah with HorrorWeb. We're here at Whitestone Brewery with artist Dale Carroll. Dale specializes in horror art, I would say, but I could be totally, completely wrong. What would you say?
No, it's horror.
It definitely is horror.
Horror and music.
Oh, like musicians or...
Yeah, I do a lot of different musicians like Willie Nelson, Stevie Ray Vaughan, mostly horror.
I saw the Willie Nelson one. That was your first commission? Is that what I read?
It was a recent commission. I've done a lot of commissions, and Willie Nelson's been a huge part of that. But yeah, that's the most recent.
So how long have you been painting this type of stuff?
Professionally, I've been doing this for about 6 years. 6 years now, and three years full time, maybe 3 years.
So you're the co-owner, creator of Short Fuse Studio.
Correct. It's me and Ken Salinas. We work together. Ken's a badass artist. I love the guy. He's like a brother. Him and Skylar Patridge. She is amazing. She's been featured in Vanity Fair. You know, her artwork is just top-notch, comic book style.
So all three of you are head artists in charge over there.
Correct. We are Short Fuse.
You are Short Fuse, and you go around to a lot of the horror conventions, I noticed?
Correct. We've been coast to coast, a lot of the Days of the Dead, Chicago. We got Atlanta next month, Texas Frightmare. We've been to some in Ventura, California. So, yeah, literally coast to coast.
When you started doing horror stuff, did you start with Universal Monsters, classic horror, or was it more like Freddy, Jason, 80s style?
I think I did start with Universal because it's just, if you're not starting with Universal, then it doesn't make sense. I mean, that is horror for me. I mean, Creature from the Black Lagoon, I've probably drawn him, and literally I think the most I've ever drawn anybody has been Bride of Frankenstein.
I was going to ask you that question. Is that most requested or the one you just enjoy doing the most?
It's the one I'm most enjoy. I enjoy doing her the most. I think it's because of the hair. Whatever style I'm doing, I used to do charcoal, but I have something called EDS. It's Ehlers-Danlos, and my hands are not able to do charcoal anymore. I can't do the blending, so I started doing painting. But when I was able to do charcoal, I used to erase in the hairlines. I love doing that. Just that white curl was just amazing, badass. Love doing it.
What of the more recent horror movies, what character do you like doing right now?
Recent, I've got one planned, and I just keep looking at my line work. I've got one from Hereditary, which is one of my current favorite movies.
See, mine too. Don't see? Okay, go.
Yeah. I like anything. I like any horror movie that's got like Hereditary. It's got, I mean, it's satanic. But no, I think what I like is anything that's like got ancient artifacts or like in The Nun, when the nun had the cross or whatever, the blood of Jesus or whatever. I like that kind of stuff. They didn't pursue it very well,
right?
But I like that kind of thing. Yeah. And so yeah, my favorite current piece that I've done the line work for Hereditary, but I haven't done the piece because I know when I do it, I want it to be badass.
Which character is it going to be?
It's going to be the daughter.
Charlie,
yes. The mom, because she's so gross. And yes, or amazing, yeah. And the son. I'm doing with the crown, the flesh crown. So.
That end scene.
Oh yeah.
In the attic. Yeah. How do you feel about naked old people?
I can't get enough of it. No, I hate it. It's gross.
It's gross, but it works so well to terrify people.
Yeah. It's good stuff. Anytime you see stuff like that, I mean, it's like, I don't know why that just, it just seems so real. It's like you don't glorify naked old people. So when you see them in a movie, it's like, oh, it's got to be for a reason. Tell
us from the blank canvas how you create.
Well, I mean, I'm a horror movie fan too. So whatever you guys see, you know, the scenes that you love in horror movies, that's what people want. They don't want to just see, you know, Jason looking straight forward or Freddy. You know, they want to see a certain scene, and that's a huge deal. I would love to see, or paint Jason like this, just out being sad or whatever. But there's certain scenes that just really get in people, and that's what I usually try to start with.
You try to find the scene that has the emotional impact.
Exactly. And with every horror movie, if you have a certain character that you're into, there's always that one scene. And that's what I like to try to capture, because people see it, and it doesn't matter. I don't want to recreate it, just perfectly. I want to recreate it in my way. Mm-hmm. And that's what you want.
You put it through your filter.
Exactly. And that's what you want to see as the purchaser, or as the person who's buying the art. You want to see it in a different way, and that's what I want to bring to you.
Right. Anybody could just, print out a picture, a still, but we want to see what your interpretation of the character is.
No, you're exactly right. My mentors have always told me, it's like, I started off with charcoal, and they were telling me, Dale, you're doing like spot on. This looks just like the movie, or this looks just like that one scene. How are you going to put your spin on it? How are people going to look at this and say, Dale Carroll did this? So for me, I started doing little splashes of color. From charcoal, I started putting in pastels, and then I just recently started working with watercolors, and I just let the watercolors just kind of do whatever they do, just bleed, and I spray it out with a little paintbrush or a toothbrush, whatever it happens to be, and just kind of put my own style on it.
People love that style. It's very popular at the convention.
They do. There's been times where it's been called pretentious or whatever, but
I don't even know what that means or why anybody would call it pretentious. It's good.
It is what it is.
It's amazing. Pretentious isn't the word I would use.
No, my supporters, and I don't want to use the word fans. I hate that word, but my supporters, they tell me what they want, and I listen to them. Because if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be anything. So it's because of them that I do what I do.
Let me ask you about what you're going to be doing as far as licensed work goes.
I just started working. I haven't done any of the work yet. It just happened where I got permission to do some work with Trauma. I got a call from Lloyd Kaufman, and I didn't know that he was going to be the one calling me. So when I got the call and he said, "Hello, Dale, this is Lloyd Kaufman." And, he's so quirky, and I heard his voice, and I was like, oh, shit. And I'm like, okay, drop your accent, make sure you don't talk. I don't want to sound like a redneck when I'm talking to a New Yorker. But, I'll be doing some stuff for Toxic Avenger coming up. That's going to be for Texas Frightmare. I think I'm going to make that my VIP piece. I do something every year for Texas Frightmare, and I wanted to do something special, and it's the 35th anniversary for Toxic Avenger, and that's when Frightmare is going to be. So yeah.
So you're going to feature Toxic Avenger there.
Correct. And
I love that movie. Like, they could not do that movie today in today's #MeToo environment.
Well, they're about to.
What do you mean?
I don't know. I don't know if you saw it, but they're about to do a remake of Toxic Avenger.
What?
Yeah, Legendary Studios, I think. I don't remember the name. Something, but someone they just picked it up, and they're going to do a reboot of Toxic Avenger.
So does reboot mean like it's a new script, new movie, or?
I think so. I don't know. Lloyd told me about it, and I was kind of, it's one of those things where it's like, I'm listening to him talk, and I'm like, this is Lloyd Kaufman.
Yeah.
Pay attention to what he's saying. But at the same time, I'm like, what did he say? Did he say they're doing a remake? So, yeah.
Oh, man. Well, I'm excited about that little tidbit. Tell us about your comic book.
We have a comic book out written by Frank Mills. It's called The Defectives. And it's basically Earth has been overrun by zombies, and all humanity is out in space, and they come down to Earth to get scraps and supplies and stuff. So it's a horror kind of sci-fi.
How many issues do you have out?
We are about to release issue 2. We have another book coming out. It's another horror book. Man, I don't even want to talk about this. This next one is so good. The art is by Johnny Segura. It's this guy. He gets permission to watch this living head. And so he's watching this head, and it's called Morbid Musings.
What do you mean, living head?
I don't know. They keep this head alive, and the head has got an attitude, and this guy is like in charge of watching this severed head. And so,
is it like in a container with fluid and like tubes bubbling up and shit?
I haven't seen all the artwork, but I'm hoping. Yeah,
that's in my head. That's how it is. The head.
Yeah, I saw the back cover, and you know, it's weird because I don't do any of the writing. The comic is under short fuse, but I just wait to see the finished product, and then I'm like blown away.
Do you do the illustration?
I don't know. No, Johnny Segura, he did the illustrations on this one.
You just said
we had another artist on Defectives. So the comic book stuff, I don't have a hand in, but it's under the short fuse label. So
what else do you guys do over there?
Mostly, again, artwork. We do a lot with Flicks Brewhouse. If you've been into any Flicks Brewhouse, you'll see our artwork on the walls. You know, it's all in the lobbies and stuff. They commissioned us to do 9 different pieces of different movie characters like Beetlejuice, and they're all holding a beer. You know, so whatever beers Flicks makes, we had a different movie character.
Oh my gosh, that must have been fun. I love Beetlejuice too. Lydia Dietz, hello.
Yeah, So we've got theaters in Indiana, Albuquerque, New Mexico, Little Elm, Idaho, Iowa.
Do you do T-shirts?
The only T-shirts we have are ones with our logos, because I'm constantly being quoted as saying I got shit to do. So I have a T-shirt out that says I got shit to do. Hashtag Shortview Studios.
I like that.
That one, and the quote, while they were busy hating, we kept working. That's our other T-shirt.
You got a lot of haters out there?
It happens. I mean, and it's gonna happen.
It's going to happen when you're a successful artist. This is what you do, right? This is not your side gig. This is your profession, and it's how you pay your bills.
This is full time, and I love it. I wouldn't take anything away. There's a lot of fantastic artists, and I don't wish any of them ill will. Any artist who's doing what we do, I mean, it's like you get in. If you have that mindset, this is what I have to be doing. You know, I feel bad for anyone who feels that way and they're not doing that, you know.
Yeah. How long does it take to do something like this?
You know, and the actual work, it takes about 6 to 8 hours. But honestly, for about 3 days, I'll set a picture like this one. I did the line work and I did some basic stuff on it. I'll set it in front of my TV, and while I'm watching TV, I'll look down at it, look back up. I'm watching back-to-back episodes of Seinfeld, whatever it is. I'm looking back. Okay, he needs this. You know, and that's literally what I do.
That's part of the work, you know.
It is, and you know, I love it. It's fantastic.
Did you always know you were going to be an artist as a career?
Shit, no. I thought I was gonna be a musician when I was a kid. You know, I had teachers telling me, you can do anything you want, Dale. Anything you want. What do you want to do? I want to draw pictures. I want to be an artist. What else do you want to do?
Anything else?
Yeah. What is there anything else? No. All right. You know, so yeah, that's.
I'm glad you didn't listen to that. What paints do you use? What brands do you go with?
I always use it's. I know very few people who use this, and if people were onto this, I think it would be a threat to me. But I'll tell it anyway. I use Dr. Martin's. It's a liquid watercolor. It's so easy to work with. You just put a couple drops of water in. It's fantastic. I use that, and I use Strathmore watercolor paper, and there's just nothing better.
So is mostly what you do now strictly watercolor?
It is until I get a better handle on my, pain management. Maybe I'll go back to charcoal one day, but for now it's watercolor. I'm thinking about trying to do acrylic.
That is so interesting to me, though. Ehlers-Danlos, is that how you say it?
Ehlers-Danlos, yeah.
Ehlers-Danlos. See, I'm going to mess it up. It's an autoimmune disorder, correct?
It's a
sort of.
I'm not sure what it is. It's
like connective tissue.
It is. Yes.
Yes.
Wow. Thank you. Yeah.
I know things.
That's exactly what it is.
And that has prevented you from working in other mediums.
It's just as I've gotten older, you know, it used to be I could pull my finger all the way back to my wrist, and that was cool when I was in school. I was like, hey, look what I can do, yeah. But now I'm older, and it's caused arthritis, and I have arthritis in both hands.
But what's interesting to me is that it has pushed you into doing the watercolor.
Exactly. And
that you're so
much
successful
easier.
with.
It's so much easier on my hands, and it's you really hit the nail on the head with that, because I used to do I tried to start off with pencils, and because pencils were so hard on my hands, I moved to charcoals, and my hands got worse, and because my hands got worse, I switched to watercolor, and now it's so much easier on my hands.
And it's picked up, I would imagine. Like this is the watercolor stuff your most successful?
I have a completely different audience, and it's great. I mean, the people who used to buy my charcoals, they don't buy anything anymore. But I have a whole new crowd, and it's even bigger who like my watercolors.
Yeah, you like what you like, but I mean, I see your stuff all over the place, so it's doing, you're doing well. That's amazing. I love little tidbits like that. That's good. If people want to buy your prints, like said Jason back here, this isn't a print though, this is original. It's beautiful.
Yeah. This is 18 by 24 watercolor, a little bit of ink. I call him Sad Jason. He's so sad.
He's contemplating his choices in life.
It's Friday the 4th or Saturday the 14th, I think.
He has to wait a whole another year.
Yeah, there's no one to kill, so he's sad.
All the teenagers have gone home from Camp Crystal Lake.
I think so.
Where can people buy your art?
I don't have a website because we're constantly on the road. We do about 30 shows a year, 30 plus.
Mostly convention?
Correct. If you find us like on Instagram, Dale_Carroll_art.
Put that right there.
Skylar Patridge, I don't remember what hers is, and Ken R. Salinas Illustrations or Ken Salinas Illustrations. Please find any one of us. We take suggestions, we take commissions, whatever you want. I want to know what people want.
I spy over there some more of your artwork. I just slurred that. I spy over there some more of your artwork, and it's looks like Twilight Zone. Is that the Twilight episode where they have the masks on and then they take it off and it's the ugly nose?
The episode Eye of the Beholder, yeah. My brother, he loved that. He saw it as soon as I painted. He's like, I want it. How much? I'm like, dude, you're my brother. So yeah.
Oh, that's $800.
900. So yeah. That's Ken's thing. He always says it. They're like, how much again? How much we? $900. So.
What was your first horror movie that you watched?
My first, this is crazy. My first horror movie was The Fog, the original Fog. And my dad, he worked at I don't know what he was doing. I think he was a welder or some shit. But I had a dream that The Fog came and took my dad after watching The Fog. And it scared me so bad that after that point, nothing ever scared me again.
Freddy or Jason?
Jason.
Jason or Mike Myers?
Jason.
If I say anything or Jason, is it going to be Jason?
It's going to be Jason. I mean, the guy's a hard worker. I mean, it's like when it comes to business, okay, he just wants to kill. He doesn't say anything. Michael Myers doesn't either, but Michael Myers is always busy looking like he's, like getting surprised or some shit. It's like, go away. I love Michael Myers, but, Jason, he's got his camp. Don't go to his camp. Why are you going to his camp?
He doesn't go anywhere else but his camp, right?
Camp Crystal Lake, you've got a name. Why are people still going there? It's been years.
You would think that they would know by now that camp is, it's killing ground.
It's time to get killing, and he does his work. I admire that.
It's business time,
it's business time.
Business is killing.
That business is a booming.
Is there anything else you want to tell the Horror Web viewers while we got you?
If you see a horror artist out there, we work hard. Just support whoever it is, whether it's me, whether it's Brian Clegg, Ken Salinas, whoever it happens to be. Just support us all. We work hard. It's a tough job we have, and yeah.
Support by not only trying to get out there with your dollars, but support by.
There's a lot of people out there, and we're in different cities. So if we post something online, it's give it a share. Let someone else see it. Get our name out there. It's really encouraging. I got this one couple, Sarah and Kyle Dunn. They share everything we do. So I totally appreciate what they do.
You notice that stuff.
I do. I notice everything. I don't always get to give them I wish I could give them a hug every time they share our artwork, but it's a big thing. It means a lot. It's not easy being an artist. I mean, this we have to, every piece we do, we have to it's like, oh man, shit, I hope people like Sad Jason.
Yeah.
If I make enough on this, I can, pay a few bills. Everything we do, it's not easy.
It sounds stressful.
It is, but I wouldn't want to do anything else.
Yeah.
The horror fans, I've watched you guys. I've seen your different interviews, and everyone says the same thing. Horror fans are the absolute best. There's no one more passionate about their love. Exactly. And the crazy thing is, I watch people. I read their Facebook posts. I know that these guys are working at Walmart or whatever it is. They show up, they save up all year long, and they come to a con, and they drop $100, whatever it happens to be. I know it's not easy for these guys, so we appreciate everything they do.
Well, and speaking for myself as a fan, we appreciate the artists too, because you can't get this type of stuff in your general big box store. You can't get this stuff, from any little place in the mall. This is stuff you have to get from the artists. You have to go to the conventions, and you guys are always so nice out there and always chat with everybody. And it's great to not only be able to buy a piece of your work, but to be able to meet the artist and chat with them. It's so freaking cool.
Right. It's pretty cool. And we've got a few supporters out there who are also local businesses. I'd like to shout out to both Aaron's Rock and Roll and Glass Coffin are both selling our artwork.
So you can go in there and buy it from them.
They came to us. They picked out a bunch of pieces, and they're great people. I would love if someone would support those guys. They're just like us. Check them out. So yeah, Glass Coffin and Aaron's Rock and Roll.
Okay, last question. If you were abducted by aliens from outer space and they probed you anally, would you tell anybody?
Anally? Would I tell anybody? No. I don't think I would. I'm in Texas. My friends are rednecks. I wouldn't tell them that I got probed by
If you're in Texas and your friends are rednecks, I think you probably did get anally probed.
It might have been one of my cousins.
But not by
it might have been a cousin. It was illegal alien, maybe. I don't know. Shit.
Dale, thank you so much for sitting with HorrorWeb for this interview and being such a good sport and creating such beautiful, amazing art. We are all fanboys and one fangirl. You're gonna paint me.
I am. I'd be honored. Thank you.
I can't wait. Not physically. I already took care of that, but I'll send you a picture. Okay, horror fans. What we would like you to do is comment below with what you think Dale should paint next. And if you're lucky, if your idea is a good one and not some, stupid paint the Elephant Man for the 5th time he's heard it. If you're lucky, he'll paint it, put it up on his social media.
I'll draw that shit. Tell me what you want.
We'll look through all of them. He's going to look at all of them. You're going to look through all of them.
Most of them.
Most of them he's going to look at. And until then, how about you take a little sip of your sippy sip?
It's almost gone, but yeah, Whitestone Brewery, Melted Snowman, thank you, love you.
And I'm Scarah for HorrorWeb. We'll see you in your screams. Mwah.
Ooh, I like this one, Scarah. He'll make a fine addition to my dream team of Scream!
Indeed, oh. And guess what? He even painted me.
Like a French whore.
Hey, I like that painting.
Here it comes!
By the loins of the big stank, that is gruesomely gorgeous, Scarah. The human Dale did an excellent job at capturing you in quiet contemplation before your human slaughter.
I remember that day well, oh. The vast amounts of human blood and entrails flowing. It was a day to remember.
And now you are forever immortalized on 2D Earth parchment.
We would like to thank Dale Carroll for letting us interview him and for gifting the HorrorWeb team with his amazing artwork. Once again, if you would like to visit his gruesome gallery, click the link below.
And remember, kiddos, witches witch in the witching hour. Zombies rise and brains devour. Vampires fly and sip on blood. Werewolves howl in your neighborhood. But none of these will save your soul as your death bell begins to toll. For it is I, Orlok, who you should fear as I herald your death. The end is near.